Hey there, welcome to LSAT Demon Daily. I'm Ben Olson, that's Nathan Fox. We're the founders of LSATdemon.com and our weekly podcast, Thinking LSAT. We have an email here from Ava, and the subject is burnout.
Ava says, due to proctor issues on both test day and during the retake, LSAC pushed my test to June. I'm very worried because I'm so incredibly burnt out. I decided to rest for the 2 weeks, only drilling 20 minutes a day or one timed section a day, but no practice tests for the 2 weeks before the real thing. And once I was supposed to take my retest, I felt better and sharper, but still just so mentally exhausted. I know June is not too close, and I will have some time to rest and readjust, but I'm not sure if I should delay my test until August to give myself more time to get my brain to bounce back. Also, how would you approach studying in a situation like this? I don't want to forget things, but I am also so mentally exhausted that it affects my performance when studying and I get discouraged. I'm not sure how to balance this. Thank you so much, Ava.
Wow. Ava, it sounds like you're going into LSAT studying and LSAT test taking with the wrong mindset. Like you're approaching each question as a battle that has to be won and is going to be very excruciating or something, because a lot of people, when they study for the LSAT, they get energized. They have fun. They enjoy the little game, and it's not necessarily how they felt at first, but it's something they can learn to start doing. It's funny. I'm thinking of this partly because I just started a different exercise routine, and there are some parts of it that go for a long time. Like, 20 sit-ups and then another 20 of a variety of sit-ups and then something else. And I'm like, okay, I'm not going to do all that, but I'm going to modify it and do it how I want to. But there's a little note next to the guy from the guy who made the schedule. And he's like, do all this. You're going to be so tired and burned out, but you're going to love it. And I'm like, I'm not going to love it. But something about him saying he says it every time. He's like, you're going to love this. And I'm just like, okay, maybe I will. And like, maybe it's not so bad. Like what else, it's just going to happen and then it's going to be over. So some of this is just changing how you think about what you're about to do.
Yeah. I think you do need to learn to love the LSAT if you're going to be successful on it. I mean, I don't think you're going to be as successful as you could be at this test if you don't find a way to enjoy it. At every level, the vast majority of your points are going to come from questions that are just easy to you. I might advise Ava to pick up our book, The LSAT is Easy.
Yep.
It's on Amazon. $6.27. I think we found out today that it's the #1 prep book on Amazon now, which makes us happy.
Yeah.
But I mean, we wrote that because we honestly believe that if you do it our way, the LSAT will be easy. It is not the type of thing that should be burning you out. So maybe Ava, take a few days off if that's what you need, and maybe maybe pick up a copy of this book and read it, because maybe it'll help you get back to basics, to just focus on, hey, if I slow down and I actually understand what I'm reading and I understand the question that they're asking me about what I've read, then I should be able to also understand how there's one answer that actually answers the question.
Yeah.
And then there's 4 answers that are just wrong. And I have 2 ways to not miss every question, which is like, just don't pick one of the wrong answers. Those are wrong. There's reasons why those answers are wrong. If you really understand them, you can't pick them because they're wrong. You also have the right answer sitting there on the page. So you might not love it the first time you read it, but you might be able to kind of back your way into it by eliminating the 4 wrong ones. And then you come back to the one remaining answer and go, oh yeah, okay, I didn't love that the first time, but now when I reread it, I see how, oh yeah, okay. And it clicks. And you go, oh yeah, that's actually, okay, I did it. I solved it. And every student, right? I mean, all you have to do is just do fewer questions, but understand more of what you're reading. And then the test all of a sudden just opens up to you. You realize like, oh yeah, I can just solve these questions. And all I have to do is just calmly solve one question and then the next one.
Mm-hmm.
Not It's not like looking forward to the next one while you're still working on this one, right? Managing your time, looking at the clock, racing the clock, worrying about your 120 to 180 LSAT. None of that is helpful. You just need to slow down and let it be easy. I promise it is easy. So none of this burnout should even be happening. I mean, like, I say this a lot too. You're looking at 4 35-minute sections. That adds up to 2 hours and 20 minutes, but you get a 10-minute break in between section 2 and section 3. So you're looking at 2.5 hours worth of work with a break. For a lawyer, that's just nothing. This isn't something that should be burning you out. That's a quarter of a Saturday.
Mhm.
It's just not, it's just not this, but people really do build it up for themselves to be this huge stressful thing.
Yeah.
And then it's a double whammy when they also are rushing at the same time, like trying to force certain outcomes, force themselves to finish the section, force themselves to get a certain score, force themselves to be ready on a particular test date. And now you're just like, instead of letting it come to you where you just, yeah, okay, I calmly read it and I understood what it said. And then I was able to solve the question and I get energy from it. Instead, it's like, yeah, I have no idea what I'm reading. My eyes are glazed over. I get to the answer choices and they all look good or they all look bad. And I just have no clue what's going on. Well,
It's
yeah, then
stressful. Yeah.
that is stressful. And yes, that will burn you out.
Mm-hmm.
But if you just slow down a bit and do it our way, you shouldn't ever be getting burned out. You're just like, yeah, okay, I realize I'm probably not going to finish the section,
Mm-hmm.
but I also realize that I can score in the 170s without finishing the sections. So what's wrong with that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Any final words for Ava?
No, just try to love the test as much as you can. Love each question. Be like, cool, what can I learn from this? How can I turn this into a game? You can get that book, by the way, at lsat.link/book.
lsat.link/book. It'll take you to our Amazon page for the LSAT is easy. Again, it's $6.27. It's pretty much a no-brainer to buy it, and we're sure it will be helpful. One last thing I'll say for Ava, which is there's just no reason why you have to take the June LSAT. If you're not happy with your practice test scores, by the time the June LSAT rolls around, you absolutely should not take the June LSAT.
Yep.
So kick the can down the road to August or who cares how far out. You've got to figure out how to love this test. And I think it's going to come from slowing down and just solving one question at a time so that you can take energy from the test instead of just dumping all of your energy in unproductive ways, dumping that energy into the test.
Email daily at lsatdemon.com if you'd like to ask us a question or share some LSAT or law school admissions news. Thanks for listening.